my quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far,
to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest.
Hey, old friend, what do you say? Old friend, are you okay? Old friend, are we or are we unique? Time goes by, everything else keeps changing. You and I, we get continued next week.
Most friends fade or they don't make the grade. New ones are quickly made, and in a pinch sure they'll do. But us, old friend, what's to discuss? Old friend, here's to us. Who's like us? Damn few. So, old friend, fill me in slow. Old friend, start from hello. Old friend, I want the when, where, and how. Old friends do tend to become old habits.
Never knew how much I missed you till now.
Most friends fade or they don't make the grade. New ones are quickly made. Some of them were something too.
But us, old friend,
what's to discuss? Old friend,
here's to us.
Who's like us? Two old friends, few won't do. Old friend, gotta have two. Old friends, helping you balance along.
One upbraids you for your faults and fancies.
One persuades you that the other one's wrong. Most friends fade or they don't make the grade. New ones are quickly made, perfect as long as they're new. But us, old friend, what's to discuss? Old friend, here's to us. Who's like us? Damn few.
Hey, buddy.
Here we are.
That's quite a narcissistic song to start with.
Yeah, but I think that's perfect, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of narcissism to kick the evening off with. Here we are.
From the rehearsal room.
Yeah, it's a delight to be here.
A slightly glorified rehearsal room, let's be honest. This is us, first day out of quarantine.
This is the best rehearsal room I've ever been in.
I like what you've done with the place.
Thank you very much.
Your plants.
Yeah, it's taken me 2 weeks in quarantine just here, getting this ready. We had to change our plans quite a bit.
Many times.
And
is this the fourth incarnation of the show?
This is the fourth incarnation of the show, but I think the best.
Wow. Some might disagree.
we should send some love to Sierra, who was going to be with us.
100%, and there's probably partially, or a big part of the reason why we've had to rewrite the show and find different things, because we don't want to not step on the toes of the reunion.
Absolutely. So if it goes wrong, it's Sierra's fault.
100%.
That's what I'm telling myself anyway.
Bless her, man. But I can't wait to come back with the reunion.
That's for sure. Yeah.
But in the meantime, from the rehearsal room, here we are.
Yeah. It's a little window into how we go about rehearsing things.
will be round the piano with Mori-san over there. There he is.
Yes.
And then bringing stuff up to the microphone and having a go at it. It's the sort of step back, perhaps, from being on the concert stage into the rehearsal room.
Yeah. So let's look back over the last 2 weeks of things we've sung through and see what we want to share today.
Sounds good.
All right, brother.
I'll never stop saying Maria. The most beautiful sound I ever heard.
So, have you ever done this before?
I think maybe I did it when I was training, maybe 22, 23 years ago. This show, though, is pretty much the reason why I do what I do.
Seriously?
Yeah, because when I must have been 13, there was a school performance at my high school. My brother played Bernardo.
We talked about this on the
We talked
podcast.
about this on the hand.
Yes.
And he was playing Bernardo, and I saw this show, and I thought, that's what I'm going to do.
Have you ever done this publicly?
Maria? Don't think so.
What a perfect time to do it.
From the rehearsal room.
Let's do it.
Yeah?
All right.
Mori-san, anything? Okay?
Okay.
Kanpeki? Kanpeki?
You up for it?
Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Yeah.
The most beautiful sound I ever heard. Maria, 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 Maria. All the beautiful sounds of the world in a single word. Maria, 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 Maria. I've just met a girl named Maria, and suddenly that name will never be the same to me. Maria, I've just kissed a girl named Maria, and suddenly I found how wonderful a sound can be. Maria, say it loud and there's music playing. Say it soft and it's almost like praying. Maria, I'll never stop saying Maria, 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 say it loud and
So, If I Can't Love Her.
Yeah.
I feel like Maria's one of those, Tony in West Side Story is one of those parts I'd love to have played. I feel like you're one of the sort of beasts that we could have done with having seen, to be honest. Does it feel like one that got away, or are you just happy to be trying this for the first time, so to speak? I mean, have you sung this a lot?
I feel you're leading the witness.
Yeah, that is a bit of a leading question, isn't it?
Yes, because my only experience with that was for the film.
Yeah.
Clearly didn't get it. But it was a heck of a process, and it was got me to learn this song. And to be honest, full disclosure, I still haven't seen the cartoon or the film, but I do love the music, and I love this song from what I did in the workshops for the film.
It's a fantastic song, and you sing it brilliantly.
Yet to be seen.
And that's probably a good place for me to depart and leave
All
you
right,
to
let
sing.
me give it a go.
Yeah.
Let's see if it would work in our old friend show, but from the rehearsal room.
All right. Good rehearsals.
All right, brother.
And in my twisted face, there's not the slightest trace of anything that even hints at kindness. And from my tortured shape, no comfort, no escape. I see, but deep within is utter blindness, hopeless as my dream dies, as the time flies. Love, a lost illusion, helpless, unforgiven, cold and driven to this sad conclusion. No beauty could move me, no goodness improve me, no power on earth if I can't love her. No passion could reach me, no lesson could teach me how I could have loved her and make her love me too. If I can't love her, then who? Long ago I should have seen all the things I could have been. Careless and unthinking, I moved onward. No pain could be deeper, no life could be cheaper, no point anymore if I can't love her. No spirit could win me, no hope left within me. Hope I could have loved her and that she'd set me free. But it's not to be if I can't love her. Let the world
Should we do a couple of solos?
Yeah. Well, we should. We have to. We have to fill out the set.
Yeah, that's true. We can't do duets all the time, can we?
But it's finding that balance. If we don't have the orchestra anymore, so certain things what we wanted to do,
Yep. We will have to wait for now.
yeah, because it just loses that energy. You know, like sometimes things work so well
Yeah.
with an orchestra that translate well with just a guitar and whatnot.
Some of the up-tempo numbers.
And we got a
sometimes.
wonderful pianist. However,
Yeah.
but I know in City of Angels, it's got that sort of big band feel.
Yeah, it's hard to replicate. I mean, funny, which I might sing, I think. May as well.
Well, I want to hear you sing that because one of the regrets I have, I never got a chance to see you do that show, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
No, it did get curtailed by the pandemic, and so it still feels like that song has life in it, you know. I can still sing it without feeling like I've exhausted the song. And it's one of the few songs in that show that stands a good chance of being represented well with just a piano, because the rest of that score really exists through that incredible work that Cy Coleman did. And there are some fine contributions too from David Zippel and Larry Gelbart, who were the other collaborators on that. But Cy Coleman's score, I think, is one of the great scores, one of the great jazz scores for the stage. And so Funny is, I think, stands up really well as a piano song, and it's
Something you said there that you don't feel is you've exhausted to do that song. You haven't done it over and over and over again. How do you? At which point do you cut that out of the repertoire if that's a big number?
It's a good question. I suppose I mean,
because you always want to keep it fresh. You always want to give the song justice and give the memories people have.
it's a balance, isn't it? It's always a balance, like we were saying. I mean, how often do you sing still?
From Anastasia.
Yeah.
I think I've done it once since I left the show.
So we should do that today. I say we.
Now to do it then? I'll do it. Man, Anastasia was good fun. That was an incredible experience to work with.
Another incredible team. I mean, we were just talking about the team of City of Angels, but that was a hell of a team.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to sing Flaherty and Aaron's stuff.
Yeah.
And to meet them and get to know them and have them write still for me.
And did it change as you went through the rehearsal process?
The song?
The song.
Yeah, well, it didn't exist till I got there.
Wrote it for you?
Well, I'm not going to say that. You said it. Stephen Flaherty said it. No, I don't, who knows? It didn't exist. I remember when we worked out the deal that we're going to do it, Stephen phoned. He's like, I got a great song for you. I'm going to put it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's great about something like that is when you work with a composer like that and a lyricist like that and a book writer like Terrence McNally, one of our greatest playwrights.
Terribly jealous.
And they totally write it around you. They collaborate with you.
Yeah.
And even if they didn't, they were making me feel like I was part of the team, which is amazing. But yeah, this song, it was higher when we first started, when they first wrote it.
Put it back up again.
No. And the reason we dropped it was it put Gleb in a different place. It made him, more, in a weird way, more of a contemporary with Dimitri. It just put it in that world where it just almost gave it more of a romantic. Yeah, it took away his darkness. So I think on the day we decided on the key, we must have sung it like 7 or 8 times in a row. Maybe over four different keys. And then, let's hear that one again. Yeah. And it got to the point where I'm like, we're definitely not doing the high one anymore, right? That's gone. Okay, let's just stick with the bottom 2.
You want to do the high one now?
No, I want to do the one on the album.
Deal.
All right.
Funny, how'd I fail to see this little bedtime tale was funny? I could cry to think of all the irony I've missed. What an unusual twist, right at the end of it, funny. Who could see that this pathetic scene would be so funny? Once you strain to find the grain of humor underneath, life double crosses with style, forcing you into a smile, so it can kick you in the teeth. Just desserts. We can all laugh till it hurts. At my expense, I'm accustomed to working on spec. I always pick up the check. I think it's funny. Who could top or make this comic opera more compelling? You could weave in some deceit to even up the score. You'd have a soul on the floor that would be roaringly funny. Sad enough, my life's a joke that suffers in the telling. Just another hoary chestnut from the bottom drawer. I've heard so often before that I can't laugh any more.
An underhanded girl, an act of desperation, and to my consternation, I let her go. She wants what she can get. Is that a fair depiction? Does she believe her fiction? It's hard to know. Is it innocence or guile, or nothing but a childish act of will? She doesn't know she needs you. She willfully misleads you. But still, our son becomes a man at his father's knee. If my father asked questions, well, where would we be? She's nothing but a child, a waif who needs protection. I feel a strange connection I can't allow. She says it's all a game. She trembles like a flower, but in her there's a power. I see that now. I am nothing but a man with nothing but his orders to fulfill. I'm innocent, she cries, but then you see her eyes, and something in them tells you that she absolutely lies. Until your heart replies. But still, I don't think there'll be a show without us picking up the guitars.
Get the guitars.
Do you remember when we first started making music? Was in my Love Never Dies dressing room, and I brought you in, and I don't know why. I started tinkering with some songs and whatnot, which we'll get to later. But I thought you were my benchmark. I'm like, if he digs this, because I didn't even know you were into folk music and country, that sort of earthy. And then when you came,
sort of into everything, really.
I didn't know at the time.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess it felt like a natural extension in a way, didn't it? To be...
What made us start a band? What made us think...
Everyone starts a band.
Every music theater guy. I'm not into music theater. I'm a rock star.
Yeah, I'm going to do something with the guitars. I don't know. We'll never know, I don't think. Just that thought of wanting to create our own material, I suppose. But it's funny, isn't it? Because alongside that, we've always come back to, I suppose you call them standards or songs that we... I mean, it's fair to say, I think you've sung Edelweiss a few times here and there. Why do you keep coming back to it?
Well, I think it's a beautiful song, you know, what it means to so many people for that show and movie in itself. And there's something, anything that, like, what does that song mean to you?
It sort of has transcended the movie for me, because I never watched the movie as a kid, but I knew the song. It's one of those examples of a song, I suppose, that has a cultural consciousness of its own, over and above the movie, which of course is fantastic. I suppose it can be all things to all people, can't it? But there's a lullaby feel to it, I suppose. I've sung it to my little girl as a lullaby before.
Oh, that's amazing.
Crack in the voice.
Well, that's the thing, and with all the touring I've done and concerts that you've done, what I've realized is, you know, as much as we want to get into the folky side of things and exercise that side of our eclectic taste, music theater, the common denominator, storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I feel like these songs still work within amongst those other songs, and a good song is a good song.
Yeah, there's only two types of music.
Go on.
Good and bad.
This is one of the good ones.
Yeah, agreed. Shall we?
Yeah.
My homeland for
Okay, brother.
All right.
See, it's a beautiful song.
Yeah, I don't need convincing.
So Sheytoons.
Yeah. I'm
The band.
I'm gonna reach in while we go. That okay?
That's all right, brother.
Tell,
I'll join you.
tell people about what the name means, because I think there's still some confusion about this. Because people think Sheytoons.
No.
I mean, we don't really ever sort of go under that name anymore, to be honest, though, do we?
No. Because you
Kind of like a ghost band.
We've done the out of retirement tour. Sheytoons back live. Well, it was a farce. It was something.
It was a farce.
It was a farce. It was a Farsi term. You know, like growing up as kids, like if we were getting out of line, our parents would be like, "Sheytoon besse,"
Which
like,
means
stop being a Sheytoon. Climb down from the devil's donkey.
Right.
So I thought, you know, I was doing a band.
Yeah, and you
The
wanted something
Sheytoons.
that was a bit subversive.
Do you remember what it was originally called?
No.
Sheytoon and the Rusty Nickel.
That's right. I was hedging towards that, but I wasn't sure.
So where does the Rusty Nickel come from? Because I was going to be Sheytoon then, and you were going to be the Rusty Nickel.
I just thought it sounded cool.
It's a lot for a poster,
There's no
though.
underpinning logic behind it. It just sounded good on a poster.
And then we called it was it the Shay? No, it's Sheytoons.
Sheytoons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a sort of revolving band of musicians, and sometimes we had different people, but
But it's led me to my
to your current
band
broadcast band, yeah.
Those were good times, man.
I mean, good times. So this is one of the Sheytoons songs, which
Yeah.
this is probably one of the first ones we wrote, I would say.
It was the first one, yeah. This was the first one I tinkered with that I brought to you. I said, let's make this one work.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's reflective, I suppose, of a time that perhaps we were going through at that time, but it's a sort of more universal lyric, I suppose, isn't it?
100%. Don't you find, even with theater songs and other songs, they change their meaning through time, through the experiences you have as you get older?
Everything's about context, isn't it? You know, a song can... I love that. I think it was one of Colm Wilkinson's albums, Some of My Best Friends Are Songs.
Yeah.
And it's funny how those songs change and evolve and stick with you over the years, but they can have a different relationship. You can sort of view them differently, and they can view you differently.
Yeah. You have a relationship with the songs, relationship with the audience. That's why this year's been crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it's been hard. It has been hard to get back into the tune because part of that relationship's missing.
Yeah. It's part of who we are.
Us, the song, and the audience.
Yeah. It's a very primal thing, isn't it? Gathering around the campfire and singing a tune. It's gone back prehistory, and we haven't been able to do it. So we're sort of doing a virtual version.
Yeah. Next best thing, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully people are watching. Or it's just us and this lovely crew here.
So here's Losing.
There are times when I fall through. I can feel the love in you. I know that I'm pushing you away from the man you knew. It's not always black or white. The gray obscures and blocks the light. So why not paint me red tonight? But I've got to feel what's right. And there you are, you're losing you in me. And there you are, I'm losing you from me. And there you are, we're losing you and me. Call a truce on this silent war. I show that this was not who I wanted to be. Let go of the hurt inside and figure out why you love me. It's so clear when looking back, far too young to see the crack, to keep our boxcar on the track. Please stand by me while I pack. No, this is not a simple choice. Nothing left now to rejoice. Johnny Cash and Jimmy Joyce, speak for me now, use my voice. And there you are, I'm losing you from me. And there you are, I'm losing you from me. And there you are, we're losing you and me.
Nice to go back to that one.
Yeah, it was.
It's nice to do that with you, brother.
Speaking of going back,
Go on.
well, if we go right the way back to the beginning of you and I in a rehearsal room, that was the first day we ever met in a rehearsal room.
Yes.
2002.
Was it the American Church
It was.
by Tottenham Court Road?
That's right.
Les Miserables.
Which is-
Fui.
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 Marius.
Marius Pomercy.
Yeah, that's right. It's been something of a constant companion, hasn't it? That show, for us,
Yeah.
in a way.
It's one of the greatest shows. And we talked earlier about how things change for us. Like when I was growing up listening to Les Mis, what I related to then is not what I relate to now. And that's what's so beautiful about that show. There's characters for everyone.
Yeah, that's right. You identify with different people as you go, don't you?
In Toronto...
Who do you identify with now the most? The Bishop?
Or Convict 5. In Toronto, when I did Valjean, there was a family of like 4 or 5 generations at Stage Door.
Yeah.
And I asked them, who's your favorite in the show? Like, what character?
Yeah.
And they all had different. And I just think now, if I was on the younger side going with my parents, I would have had an answer.
Yeah.
And now, if I take my boys, like, they're going to relate to something different than I relate to.
Yeah.
And that's why I think people keep going back to it as patrons, but as artists, why we would keep going back to
We
it.
turn back to it, yeah. I think it's also fair to say, as far as I'm concerned, the Claude Michel Schoenberg's music is up there with some of the finest written for the musical theatre stage. You know, we're covering a lot of the greats of musical theatre in our program. You know, Richard Rodgers, Stephen Sondheim,
Yeah.
and
Alan Menken.
yeah,
And there's just like Tim Rice.
no, I mean, and Stephen Sondheim
Again?
again. You know, I mean, yeah, we'll pay him his respect when we get to it. But Claude Michel's music, I think, and as we were just mentioning, Herbie Kretzmer, who we've sadly just lost,
Yeah.
I think wrote one of the great librettos. And so it's no coincidence that people flock back to it, because not only of the magic of the story, but of the craft that is at the heart of it, which is what makes it so appealing, again, for us, I think, as artists, to come back, because you are always going to be finding more stuff.
And it's no coincidence that when we get the privilege to be up here performing, whether it's on a stream or in front of an audience, that we have to pay homage to it as well. And knowing our connection to it, even as when I was understudying you or going on as Andras to you, Marius, I remember you phoned me.
Did I?
Because I was on for you for a weekend, and then Monday we're back, and you phoned
How
me.
do you remember this?
Because the fright I felt at the time, because you phoned me and saying, hey, buddy, I was like, hey, Hadley, how you feeling? Good, good. So you're on tonight, thinking you're not
For
coming
me.
back.
Yeah.
I went, oh, you're still not well? And you went, no, I'm back tonight. So I said, well, what do you mean I'm on then? And you went, you're on his own dress. Haven't they called you? I said, I pulled the car over. I was like, what? And I was on my way in. And I'm like, I'm on his own dress. We haven't done a run yet. So I remember the director phoned me. So you're on tonight? I said, yeah, I heard. Do you want to rehearse or talk about it? I'm like, at this point, no. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah. So your rehearsal room was the stage.
Yeah. So much fun. And then we got to play Valjean in Javert, which we can talk about later, but I'd love to hear Stars, brother.
I'd like to hear Bring Him Home. That's worked out.
Start with Stars.
Out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from God, fallen from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face, till we come face to face. He knows his way in the dark, mine is the way of the Lord. Those who follow the path of the righteous shall have their reward. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, the flame, the sword, stars in your multitudes, scarce to be counted, filling the darkness with order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place in the sky, hold your course and your aim, and each in your season returns and returns, and is always the same. And if you fall as Lucifer fell, you fall in flames. And so it must be, for so it is written on the doorway to paradise, that those who falter and those who fall must pay the price. Lord, let me find him, that I may see him safe behind bars. I will never rest till then. This I swear by the stars.
Well, as this has been an extraordinary year, unfortunately, last year we lost an incredible talent and beautiful human being, and someone who I considered a friend here in Japan. I would just like to dedicate this to Haruma Miura-san. God on high, hear my prayer
He is young, he's afraid. Let him rest, heaven blessed. Bring him home, bring him home, bring him home. He's like the son I might have known if God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one, how soon they fly on, and I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, he is only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be, let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him
So the end of Act 1.
End of Act 1, yes.
The intermission.
We need an intermission, right?
Yeah, we need to go and have a rest. People
Yeah.
need to go and get an ice cream.
They need to get their snacks.
And so we're going to finish off with something from chess.
Yeah. You ever done it?
Never done it. So it's been fun to do it in the rehearsal room, actually, and as a duet.
I love this song.
What do you love about it?
I don't know, for someone, being born in Iran, escaped to Italy, grew up in Italy, grew up in Peterborough, Ontario, then up to Richmond Hill, then moving to England. There is a sense of lack, I don't know, of some sort of national foundation, like where I come home.
Mhm.
I always say home is where the kids are.
Yeah.
But I do find there's an envy of someone who has that sort of home of where they're from. Like your home is here, England,
Well, not here.
Not here,
Yeah.
'cause we're in Japan, but...
Yeah, I guess.
But there's a charm in being a citizen of the world as well. Like I feel Japan's my third home.
Yeah.
Canada being my
It's
first.
funny, I sort of, I feel uncomfortable with the idea of nationhood in a way. But maybe because I'm attached to it a bit more closely.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on.
Like
What makes you uncomfortable about it?
Anything that stretches too far into anything too jingoistic, anything too front-footed about the idea of nationhood, I suppose, is something that I feel
Yeah.
slightly allergic to. In this context, though, and in your context, I think
About home.
it's a great centre. It's a great centre, isn't it? It's about where you find your identity within that.
Yeah. And I guess it's something that this is where it's opposite, right?
Yeah.
Because I haven't experienced this where you have, but you haven't experienced.
Either way, beautiful song.
Beautiful song.
And we'll see you for part 2.
See you at part 2. Ice cream?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Country's heart, they rise to fail. She is eternal, long before nation lines were drawn, when no flags flew, when no army stood. And you ask me why I love her through wars, death, and despair. She is the constant, we who don't care. And you wonder, but how? I crossed over borders, but I'm still there now.
She gets her phone call, she is happy. Makes herself feel close to me.